So we're going to try it again, because apparently in my first attempt I thought I was filming at 4K 60 FPS. I get home, I try to upload it, and it turns out it's only 1080p. So we can just do this walk again. This time I do not have the external mic, so we're just using the internal mic, and I don't even know if I'll walk all the way, just because I know the file is going to be huge. I feel weird talking to myself as I wander along the road. But short little 10-minute walks every now and again can't be hard. Can't hurt anyone, right? And I do need to get out walking more. For a while I was doing really well, and it was like every day I was out for at least an hour, maybe even 2. There was one day I pushed myself to 5 hours. And it was last year. It was like September through December. And I can't blame the winter, because no, it was just my own personal laziness, and I started to drop back and not exercise as much. I go through my cycles. I think part of the reason is I got kind of bored of walking the same neighborhood the whole time. And I know I could easily hop on the GO train and go somewhere else, but laziness. Okay, so hopefully we're actually filming at 4K 60 frames per second this time around. And the only way I can really figure that out is by looking at the size of the file when I get home. Now, one of the theories I had, and I've mentioned this in the other video, which is unlisted on my YouTube channel, but the Cam Park and the Acaso don't let you have image stabilization and lens distortion correction turned on. According to the XTU's menu, you can. So that's a thing. I'm going to do exactly the same walk as I did before. And hopefully this time we're actually going to film the whole thing, unlike the last one. This bit of a walk I actually was cut out because apparently I turned on and quickly turned off the camera after 30 seconds somehow. Not sure how I did that. Okay, start crossing the road. Yeah, no cars. So the last video, this is actually where the filming renewed. I got to the end of the driveway, I cut off, and then I realized it when I was about here. I guess I'll do the quiet streets again. I guess I won't. They were already up by this time last year. You know, the signage was probably all falling apart, so they decided, too expensive. It was a test project anyway. Well, the streets are always quiet now, too. It was an interesting little project last year, though. I'll mention all that. For those who aren't aware, here in Toronto, they started blocking off all these sort of quieter streets throughout the city to make them more pedestrian friendly. Made it a little bit more difficult to drive, but I don't, so it doesn't affect me. Now again, I wonder the last video, I wonder what the size of this file is going to be if I am actually filming at 4K 60 frames per second. This little stroll is about just under 10 minutes, just walking around the block like this. Now, if I was definitely filming at 1080p in the last one, then the total file was probably about 3.8 gigabytes. So if this is indeed 4K at 30 frames, I can only imagine what the size of this is going to be. And the question is, do you really need to film at 4K? You know, such a fancy 4K. But really, do you need it? Do you notice? Does a human eye really notice? And 60 frames per second, what exactly does that get you? Yeah, as we go higher and higher, now they're talking about 8K. Does a human eye even see 8K? From my understanding, we barely even see 4 or 5K. It is definitely much cooler down here than it is up there. And it's funny, it's just like a block. And here we're at the last turn. I am trying to like this XTU. It's not a bad little device. I think I've said it once or twice. I really like the grid line feature. I don't know why. It's such a minor thing. But it appeals. I like grid lines. I have grid lines turned on my iPhone. And there we go, coming across the road. And a little passage that I once upon a time made, it's like 2 years ago now. This was all overgrown and I cut them back so you could actually pass through them.